All right, this is our review of the Chigee AIO-6 MAX. We're gonna unbox it, put it on the bike, see how well it works, and more importantly, how well it works with Scenic. So we have the unit itself, the quick release kit, the quick release base kit. They've also sent us a lens hood and a camera setup and some tire sensors. So we've got a lot of kit to look at. I'm going to see how easy it is to fit on the bike, how well it works, and most importantly, how well it works with Scenic. Okay, after about an hour and quite a lot of swearing, it is installed. Yeah, the problem was not the Chigee unit. That actually is about as intuitive as it could be. It was that my bike doesn't have an accessible accessories fuse box, so I had to splice it into an existing one. But it should now turn on when the bike turns on. And I now have cameras. I now have a reversing camera and a front camera on my motorbike. Isn't that mad? Anyway, I'm gonna get this all tidied up, which might take a while, and then take her out for a ride. So once it's all wired up, the first thing you notice is that it just looks like it fits with the bike. It's a proper screen with a proper mount that turns on and off with it, not a phone rattling around slightly off center. I realized how different it felt to have a screen dedicated to what I was doing, riding. The lack of messages popping in kept me more immersed in where I was. CarPlay has some clever features that work perfectly, so you can hear messages if you want to and respond if you've got a headset, but I found myself actually just focusing on enjoying the ride. All right, I found a nice quiet area to start looking at this Chigee, and I am so impressed. So it's a really simple unit. It's just this big, beautiful screen and then 4 buttons across the top. The first one, the home button, takes you to their dashboard, which will show you your speed, the information from the tire pressure sensors, and what time sunset is and your elevation, which is cool. It'll also show you just things like your lean angle when you're riding, which is pretty cool. I'll try and get some footage of that while we're riding, but I thought what I'd do is set up a Scenic route and let us ride it. Before we do that, I just wanted to actually also show you the cameras, which is mad. It's one button click to have a rear view camera and a front view camera in full HD. And these sort of clickable buttons are super intuitive, so you can switch between the 2 pages that you were just on. Use the screen or tap the buttons. Really, really nice. Okay, let's open up Scenic. Scenic works on this just as you'd expect in CarPlay, but you know, if you haven't used it, I'll give you a little quick tour of how it works. You can explore POIs around you. The layout, again, is a little bit different to how it is on iPhone, but honestly, it's just really, really, really nice. So you can see them as a list, but you can also preview them as a map. So you can see where these things are in relation to you, which is just quite a nice feature. You can also look at other users' routes around you, either ones that you created or your favorites. To browse other ones, you need to use your phone, but you can do that at the same time. Let's have a look at one of my favorites. Yeah, be guided to the route start. Cool, you can see the route come up there. We can change our routing mode in here as well. In fact, to see the difference that the different routing modes have, let's go, somewhere just around London. So I'm not in the best place for Scenic routing, which is why I had to start using the app, because otherwise I would be stuck, you can see, on this A road. But if we change our routing mode off standard to curvy and press avoid highways, avoid po roads, let's leave avoid unpaved on, you can see that's changed and it's a much more interesting route now, and it takes a little bit longer, but that's the point. When you start riding it, you have all of your quick actions that you're used to with Scenic, so you can see an overview of the route, or you can skip the waypoint, change how the speed applies, and change the direction. So yeah,
in a nutshell, that is Scenic on CarPlay. Now, I'm going to get riding, and I'll see you guys in a second. But this unit, damn, it works.
When you're actually riding, Scenic itself is really legible on the screen. Honestly, I've been using Scenic on my phone for years. This is the first time I've used it on CarPlay, and I just prefer it. It's just better. The Chigee controls themselves are just super easy to use. Sometimes the screen doesn't detect your presses, but it's rare and you're wearing gloves. And having the buttons as a backup to flick between screens meant I actually used my rear camera while riding. You can press a button and check it, and then press it again and come back to Scenic. It's so intuitive. The Chigee dashboard is also really clear. You can see things like your speed, your lean angle, your bearing, and your tire pressure from the sensors. But you can also see your elevation and what time sunset is. It's just a really nice clean UI that feels like it's already a part of the bike. And then you press one button and you're straight back to Scenic and continuing your route. We wanted to give it a proper test, so me and my partner got kitted up and spent the weekend riding around the Peak District. We went on a load of different road types and into and out of Signal. Scenic and CarPlay is just a great experience, and it was smooth the whole time. But the Chigee unit stood up too. It was crisp and clear and just worked perfectly. We sort of just forgot that it was there and that we were meant to be doing a video review, but I guess that is exactly what you want. So that's Chigee and that's Scenic. A perfect match. See you next time.